Mr. Wynyard, it's a girl! As I look into the beautiful blue eyes of my gorgeous little daughter Bonnie, born at 11:21 p.m. on March the 7th, 2009, weighing 8 pounds and 10 ounces. My whole world completely changed. Now, the birth of a child is obviously special for the parents, but it's just as special for the grandparents. And they say that the grandmother-granddaughter relationship is very simple. Grandmothers are short on criticism, but long on love. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow HODers, and to our very special guests. It seems to me that every mum looks forward immensely to the day that her child becomes a parent, because there's almost always a very special bond between a child and their grandparent. Put your hand up if you ever had a grandparent. No, I think my mum had just about given up hope of ever becoming a grandma because of my globe-trotting ways, and I never really did settle down. So the shock she must have felt when she discovered that I was going to be a dad at the age of 45 was probably the equivalent of finding out Lady Gaga isn't an alien. However, it must have been quite difficult for my mum that day in the hospital, because 11 years earlier she had lost her eyesight due to a combination of glaucoma and macular degeneration. And so she went completely blind and wasn't able to see anything. So that day in the hospital, with everyone exclaiming what a beautiful baby Bonnie was, she wasn't able to see her own grandchild. If I could ask you all, if you can all please close your eyes, just until I ask you to open them again. So just, if you close your eyes. Now imagine making your dinner with your eyes closed. Or doing everyday things such as using the toilet, maybe. Now think of your loved ones. If you could never see them again, your children, your spouse, your kids, your neighbour. You could hear them but never see them again. Going through the rest of your life with your eyes permanently closed, never being able to see anyone or anything ever again. If you could open your eyes, please. Now, my mum hasn't had the easiest of lives. She was married twice and had 2 other long relationships. And of those 4 men in her life, 3 of them beat her physically. One of them when she was blind. But my mum has a strong character, and to give you an example, in her 50s she travelled around the world on her own for 4 months. In 2004 she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she had to undergo aggressive chemotherapy. And there were numerous horrendous side effects, and it went on for a very long time. And eventually the cancer went. Or so we thought, because in 2008 it returned. And this time she had a double mastectomy, and this time we were pretty sure the cancer had gone. So a few months later, in 2009, when Bonnie was born, she was ecstatic. Fortunately, she didn't get to spend much time with her granddaughter, because when myself and Bonnie's mother split up, I had to go to court 4 times in order to get access to see my own daughter, which meant my mum didn't get much time to spend with her granddaughter. However, when they were together, they had a lot of fun. And the fact that my mum was always wearing dark glasses was a never-ending source of intrigue to Bonnie. And I'm sure Bonnie thought at times, Grandma must be one of the X-Men. In April 2013, her brother Mick passed away from prostate cancer. And 3 days later, she was told that her breast cancer had returned. But this time it was in her lungs. And this time it was spreading and was terminal. The hospital told her she had to undergo chemotherapy or radiotherapy. And a couple of days later we were having a discussion, and I said, look Mum, I can understand why you don't want to go through the chemotherapy again, but there's other treatment you can have. Tony, I'm tired of the pain from the cancer. I'm tired of not being able to see anything. I'm tired that I can't see my only granddaughter. I don't want any treatment. I've had enough. Now, my whole life, my mum had always been really strong, so this was like a real shock. Over the last few months, she's become more and more frail, and she now has to use a Zimmer frame to walk around. And a couple of months ago, her eyes started to become really itchy, and then gradually they were becoming more and more sore. Until on Thursday, May the 22nd, she went to see an optician. And the optician underwent a few tests, and he looked at her and said, "Mrs. Halsey, Mrs. Halsey, your eyesight has returned. After 16 years of blindness." You heard me correctly, she could see again. It was amazing. Now, for a couple of days beforehand, she'd had a little bit of vision, but she was convinced it was an illusion. She was sure her mind was playing tricks on her. So when the optician said, "Mrs. Halsey, your vision is normal," words are undescribable, the feeling that she must have felt. Now, the week after that, I had contact with my daughter again. And as soon as I picked Bonnie up, we went straight to Grandma's house. And as we walked in, the look when my mum saw her, incredible. Now, in the remaining days of my mum's life, she can see out to her days. She can literally see out to her remaining days. Now, we all go through life and people often tell us not to believe in your dreams. People don't believe in their dreams, but I've now seen that miracles can really come true. And I will never forget the look on my mum's face the day she saw Bonnie for the first time. Mr. Toastmaster.
Sometimes even I don't know